All right. I guess I'm going to go through our housekeeping one more time, and I think we're
Yeah.
probably good to get started.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Emma. Just make sure everybody has their mics off, and if you want to drop where you're from in the chat, that would be great. And yeah, we'll get started now. You think that's good, Annie? I want to make sure.
Yeah, and again, just a reminder, this is being recorded. And if you have any questions as we go through, please feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll also have time for questions at the end.
Yeah, we'll get started now. I'm Emma. I am an American Connection Corps member serving with Generation West Virginia. Just a little bit about me. I graduated from WVU in May with a BS in marketing, and I'm currently getting an MBA, which is Master's of Business Administration from Youngstown State. So yeah, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Generation West Virginia. So I'm going to hand it over to Annie, who's the director of Broadband at Generation West Virginia.
Great. Thanks, Emma. I think we know a lot of you all already, but just in case you're not familiar, Generation West Virginia is a statewide nonprofit that works to ensure that young people in West Virginia have access to the skills and opportunities needed to have well-paying careers, quality of life, start their businesses here in the state so they can choose to stay. We have, sorry, I'm going to admit somebody. We have four main programs. We've got our Career Connector. This is a job board. We do the Generational Talent Search, where we help folks find qualified candidates here in the state. We have our GWV Fellowship Program, which is a professional development fellowship opportunity for young professionals in the state. They get to do a lot of really great work, meet each other, network, see different parts of the state, learn from a lot of the great leaders here across our land. We have New Forest, which is our data analytics training program. We used to do software, transition to data analytics the last couple years. And then we have our broadband program, which we'll talk more about here in a second, which focuses on um, broadband access broadly. So both infrastructure and all of the constellation of things that go along with making sure people can adequately use the internet. So Emma, you can go to the next slide. So again, GWV broadband, we historically really started focusing on infrastructure. So we have historically done technical assistance for infrastructure programs. This shifted the last couple of years with the Infrastructure Act and a lot of funding coming in, but we've supported over $45 million in state and federal funds to connect homes and businesses in West Virginia to high-speed broadband. And then again, on the kind of digital access and adoption side, we've done quite a bit of community-based planning. We worked with 18 counties. Many of the folks on here I see are familiar from that process, working to put together county-level digital equity plans to really look at what are the needs on the community, local level, what are some of the solutions we can look at and, hopefully be the first step to putting together some projects. We also have been working on offering some resources around education and also network building. So we do webinars like this. We have a pilot program with using North Star Digital Literacy, where we have a handful of partners across the state, both workforce library partners who are actively using this digital literacy curriculum to teach folks digital skills across the board. And then our big new update is we are starting a statewide quarterly network, the West Virginia Connected Communities Network, along with a newsletter. The first network meeting is going to be February 24th. So we're very excited, trying to keep the conversation going. This is a big issue. We've got a lot of infrastructure that's coming into the state, and it's such a critical piece to ensuring that we can all stay and thrive and access the resources we need to. So happy to be here, and I am going to pass this back to Emma, who's going to do our first webinar here about how to effectively market programs.
So, today we'll talk about how to effectively market your programs, and the purpose of this webinar is to learn key steps in marketing your program so you reach a broader audience. And some of the key topics that we'll go over are understanding your program and audience, building a strong marketing foundation, marketing channels and tactics that work, and content that converts. So the first topic is understanding your program and audience. You want to clarify your program's values. So, what problem does your program solve and what is your program used for? Defining benefits versus features. Features are the attributes the program has and focuses on, while benefits explain the value that the feature holds. And then you want to focus on your unique selling proposition, your USP, which is if the consumer asks, why should I choose this program? The USP gives the answer. So, some examples. Domino's, they have their fresh hot pizza in 30 minutes or less, or it's free. So why the customer should choose it? You get a free pizza if your pizza is not delivered in 30 minutes. And then for a library, maybe a digital skills class, free digital skills training, no experience required. So they'd want to choose it because there's no experience required and it's free. So then you want to know your target audience. So analyzing existing audience, who uses your program and who is it benefiting? And then you want to create a persona for your target audience based on demographics, goals, pain points, behaviors, and anything else that relates to the audience you are targeting. So we're going to go over an example of a persona, and this would be for a library outreach for digital literacy. And the target audience is job seekers, K through 12 families, older adults, retirees, and small business owners. So the persona we're going to use, her name is Maria, and she's an adult digital literacy learner. Age 42 in a rural community, weekly visitor at the library, and has a high school diploma. She's a part-time retail worker seeking full-time employment, and she's a single parent with two school-age children. So, background on her, she relies on the public library as her primary access point for technology. She owns a smartphone but does not have a home computer or reliable internet. She often feels overwhelmed by technology and worries about breaking something when using computers. Maria is motivated to improve her digital skills to secure a better paying job, communicate with her children's schools, and manage everyday tasks online. So her digital skill level, she's a beginner with computer skills and needs support using a mouse, keyboard, and navigating the desktop. Her internet skills are beginner, understands how to open a browser but struggles with searches and online forms. Her email skills, she can read emails and click on them, but she needs help creating and sending and attaching files. She's a beginner job seeker. She's unfamiliar with online applications and resume uploads and safe practices online. She's not really aware of scams, passwords, and privacy issues that might occur. So the goals are for her to apply for jobs online independently, create and manage a professional email account, complete online forms for school, work, and benefits, and build confidence using computers and the internet. And some barriers that might arise with her is limited access to technology outside of the library, fear of making mistakes, and challenges with online content. So, how the library can then support Maria is they can offer North Star digital literacy classes and self-paced assessments, provide patient, non-judgmental staff support, supply free computer and internet access, and help her earn her certificates so she can show employers. And then the outcome of that would be that after completing the classes at the library, Maria can confidently use library computers, apply for jobs, and earn her digital literacy certificate that helps her secure full-time employment. So that would be an example of a persona. So then you would use that same type of example and make it into who the people that you're trying to target. So then our next topic is building a strong marketing foundation. And the first step in that is branding. You want to have a consistent message and distinct identity with color schemes, names, logos, and graphics. These help to build brand recognition for the audience and consumer. So as you can see here, PCs for People, they have their logo and they have it on everything so that you know that it's PCs for People. And same with the color scheme. They have the blues, the white, and um, the light blues. So for like this image right here where the PCs for People learn more and donate here, you can know that it's them because of the logo and the color scheme. And then developing value statements, a defined set of core principles such as the core beliefs, goals, and the wanted outcomes of the program. So they have their mission statement, which is through electronic reuse, PCs for People provides the opportunity for all individuals, families, and nonprofits with low income to benefit from life-changing impact of computers, internet, and digital skills. So that is their one of their value statements. It's their belief in their mission, and then their core values. They have inclusive and collaborative, competitive and ambitious, passionate and mission driven, resourceful and innovative, dependable and customer focused, and honesty and integrity. So those are some of their also core principles. So then you want to set SMART goals, and SMART goals stands for the S is specific, M is measurable, A is achievable, R is relevant, and T is time oriented. And then you want to set these goals to know if you're on track with your marketing plan. So here is just a basic SMART goal plan worksheet where you can see like specific, what am I going to do? Why is this important to me? Measurable, how will I measure my success? How will I know when I have achieved my goal? Attainable, what will I do to achieve this goal? How will I accomplish this goal? And then relevant, is this goal worthwhile? How will achieving it help me? Does this goal fit my values? And time, when will I accomplish my goal? How long will I give myself? And then the action plan, the goal is, date to finish, how will I measure my success? Steps to achieving my goal, the description of it, time estimate, completion, obstacles that may arise, or how you'll respond, and then helpful tools, helpful resources. So I created an example. This is just a made up example, but just to show you like how you would go about doing this. So for specific, what am I going to do? Why is this important to me? I'm going to focus on North Star digital literacy to further the digital skills of people who come to the library. And then measurable, how will I measure my success? How will I know when I achieve my goal? I want to increase the attendance of the classes by 25%. Attainable, what will I do to achieve this goal? I want to promote the classes using social media platforms, create flyers to put out in the library for people to see and take. And then, is this goal worthwhile? How will I achieve it? Does it fit my values? And supporting the mission to increase digital literacy in the community is how it is worthwhile. And then time bound, when will I accomplish my goal? June 30th, 5 months. So then you write out, which you don't actually have to write it out, but just it's just like a generic way to like think about it even. So by June 30th, the public library will increase attendance at its digital literacy workshop by 25% by offering 2 workshops per month, promoting them through social media, in library flyers and library newsletters, and tracking attendance using sign-in sheets after each session. I want to finish that by June 30th, and I will measure my success by monthly tracking, what percent increase we get in attendance. And then you want to steps for it. You want to review past attendance and current attendance average, identify target market or target audience, and then market program using marketing tactics. And then obstacles that may arise are transportation issues with getting people to the library. So you could eventually branch out into going to other places that might need the digital support that and they can't get to the library. And then scheduling, create a schedule that fits with most. So you want to choose a time that you think that most people that you're targeting can go to the event. And then access to technology outside the library. Maybe there's a way that they could check out a computer if the library does that type of system or something else. And then helpful tools, you could use Canva or other platforms to create marketing graphics. And then resources, you could use the library resources. So our next topic is marketing channels and tactics. So to start, traditional community-based, especially useful for programs trying to serve a group of people who don't use technology in rural areas lacking broadband connectivities. This could be printed materials, posters, flyers, other things like that. Word of mouth, if people talk and become interested in what their friends and family are doing. You know, if somebody comes in and wants to do a class or participate in what your organization's doing, then they're going to go home and tell their friends like, hey, I did this today. You should come with me next time. And then they're going to bring them in as well. So some examples of the printed materials, you can have something like this one right here with the Microsoft Word class. You can see that there's branding on it, the Upshur County Public Library, so you know who is the person that is offering this class. And then it's a free digital literacy class designed to teach you the essentials. It tells you the date and time, and then location, and then the registration at the bottom. Same with the one next to it, upcoming classes. You have the date, the time, the what the class is, and then where it is. And then you also have the brand at the bottom. And then you have another one, be smart, be safe, be online, and then learn how to stay safe online with North Star. You'll practice spotting scams, create strong passwords, and protecting your private information. And this one's also from Upshur County. So they have their logo and then where the class would be, and then their phone number as well. So then also you for traditional and community based, you can have partnerships with community organizations. Partnering with community organizations can help spread your program and increase the number of participants. This can also lead to more word of mouth marketing through more channels. It could be local school events, and resource pages, WVU extensions, other resources provided, may have newsletters that they send out. Local media, you can have your local TV, radio station, newspaper, build relationships with them, and invite them to events, send press releases or class schedules to them so that they can post it or put it in their paper. And community and social media websites. Many communities have local Facebook groups or neighborhood groups and county city event listings, so you could put it there. And then bulletin boards around the community, coffee shops, libraries, social services, schools. You could put them up there and so people can see the event. And then speaking engagements and tabling events. Don't underestimate getting out in person and putting a face to your program, especially when getting started. Tables at fairs, other community events for special occasions. So you can see on the side, we have the picture of the Free Geek speaking tabling event that they did to get people to be interested in the program that they offer. So next we have digital marketing strategies, and this is super important to getting your program out to the public in this day and age. I'm going to go over these real quick, and then I have examples of all of these that I have on the slide. So website optimization, user-friendly pages that are easy to navigate with call to action buttons, so it is clear to the user where to sign up, get more information, and also making sure that it's mobile friendly, because if somebody uses it on their computer, that's fine. But then if the website gets messed up on the phone, then they're not going to be able to use it or see it. And then email campaigns, important and useful to remind your audience of the events coming up or any other useful information in the newsletter. An example would be digital literacy classes, upcoming or reoccurring. And then social media, most commonly Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. The selection of platforms should be based on your target audience. Younger generation, you could focus more on maybe like your TikTok and Instagram, and then older, maybe your Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn too for professionals. And then SEO and keywords for program visibility. SEO is search engine optimization, and it's important to use SEO so that your website pops up on the browser under more search results and higher up on the Google search page. So a good example of website optimization are some of these. So first of all, I have Apple as one of my examples because their website, you can tell exactly what it is that they want you to do and you know exactly what you want to do as well. So iPhone, say hello, learn more, shop iPhone. So you know exactly what you're doing. You're either clicking learn more or you're clicking shop iPhone. So there's no surprises in the links that you're clicking. American Connection Core, they visibly show exactly what it is that they are. The American Connection Core is connecting people to places and possibilities in digitally disconnected communities across America. So right from the start, they show you exactly what it is that you're looking at. And then Digital Lift, they have this just subscribe to newsletter, plan now for successful 2026. That also is a good way to set up the website so that people clearly see that they're subscribing to the newsletter, what it is the newsletter is going to show them. Another good example, I found this example of library that from back home, and they did a really good job at having everything that all the resources that they have. So they have today's events in the corner, other events that you can click on, and then they have their popular resources, ebooks, movies, free music, yearbooks, online classes, and then the library's unique resources. So reserving different spots, and they have their call to action button, and then services, passports, notary, and the button for that, and then Makerspace, they have the button for that, and then digital resources, all of their digital resources, They have their branches and hours, and then more about them. And then they have their About Them Mentor Public Library, history, mission, employment, etc. Anything that you need is down here. And then buttons to connect to their social media pages. So their Facebook, their Twitter or X, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. So this is an example of what not to do to your website. Craigslist, it's not really, I feel like people don't really use that much as much anymore, but it's not showing you a good example or it's not showing you like what you should be doing. So you go onto Craigslist and it's like just a map with like random countries and random cities, and you're like, well, what do I do with this? So it's like not laid out very well. And then same with Yale School of Art, also not laid out very well because it's just very congested and you kind of like don't know what it is that you're looking at or what you're trying to click on. So those are examples of what not to do to your website. And then for another strategy, we have the email campaigns. This is a good example of an email campaign. It's the ARC News, what's going on in the region. So they have their 2026 annual conference in June 2nd through the 4th, and that's their main header. And then they have what's going on in the community, and then available opportunities that they have. They have Appalachia in the news, what's going on in the area, and then events that they have, and then learn more button that you can click if you're interested in investing in priorities, action, careers, research, and data. And then another good example of email campaign, this is a smaller one. It's rural resources. So they have like a little story that they told, and then they have a picture, a description of the picture. They have the Learn from Rural Stories button that you can click. And then they also have where you can join their storytelling February 4th, and then you can click there to join. And then they have their signing off. So, for another strategy for social media, it's very important to have like social media posts and make sure that the post like makes sense so that people know what it is that they're looking at and why that they're looking at it, and so that also that it engages your um, audience and draws them to take the action that you want them to take. So, for example, this first one that I have over here from Generation West Virginia, the holidays are about connection, community, and showing up for one another, and then support our work with a year-end gift. So they're drawing you in and getting your attention and then telling you exactly what it is that they want you to do. So they want you to be able to donate. And then the middle one, same thing. New jobs have dropped on the Generation West Virginia connector, career connector today. Not seeing anything that seems like a good fit, you can submit your resume and then want to invest in your professional development 2026. Level up your skills and networks by applying to the GWV fellowship. So this is also being very straightforward. So you have your new career connector opportunities, and then if you're asking yourself, oh well, like none of these seem like a good fit, well, it's answering that next question. So then you can submit your resume that they can help you find a good fit, and then again, if you want to invest in your professional development, since this is about jobs and professional development, it shows another option so that you can keep focusing on your professional development skills. And then same thing with this last one, sponsorship opportunity. It is providing a sponsorship opportunity. So it's telling you exactly what it is that it's wanting you to do. And then we have our SEO, search engine optimization. It's used to increase website visibility organically, so you don't pay for it. And you can do it by keyword searches. You can use terms and phrases that users might use when looking for your website. So, for example, a digital literacy program may include keywords like computer class, how to use the internet, how to use software or Microsoft Word, etc., so that when somebody looks those things up, your website or your organization will pop up at the top so that they can see that these are provided by you. And then content optimization, make sure the content matches what the user searched for so that they're not searching for something and then you're popping up and then it's not what they actually looked for. And then user experience, you want to make sure again that it's mobile friendly, fast load, and easy to navigate. So then we have paid promotions. They're ads you pay for to show your message to more people than just your regular followers. Instead of waiting for people to find your post, you pay a platform like Facebook or Google to push it to a specific audience. It's usually found in social media, search engines, and websites. So if the search engine optimization isn't working, you can also take this route. It's used to reach people who don't follow you, increase attendance at events, and promote events with deadlines. So how it works is you create a message, for example, free digital skills class, sign up today. You choose your audience. You can target by location, age group, interest, or a combination of them. You set your budget. You decide how much you want to spend, even if it's just $5 to $10 a day. It's up to you. Run the ad. The platform shows your ad to people who match your audience, and then you can track your results. You can see people who saw it, how many clicked, and how many signed up. So we have an example of how you would sign up for a Facebook ad. So how you want your ad to look. You add the text, the picture that you want to show up on the ad, the header, the label, website URL, and then off to the side you want how many impressions you would like to make, and then link to the clicks that you get, and then payment. So this one is a $5 a day budget. So lastly, we have content that converts. And content that converts, that means that you want to try to, um, you want to not only get likes and views, but you want to make sure that you're taking action and that people are taking the action that you want them to take so that they're, so like, um, you get your likes and views, but then you're also getting people to actually engage with your content. So you can do it by using storytelling and social proofs, participant testimonials, and success stories. People love to hear about others' experiences, and these experiences can often persuade someone to participate or engage with something they otherwise wouldn't. Stories of good experience equal more people looking to experience the same. So an example of that I have is from Goodwill. They had Why Should I Take Goodwill North Star digital literacy training, and then they had these three testimonials. So Henry had a background in the warehouse industry, but was needing additional computer skills. He went through basic computer classes, earned his North Star, and was hired as a warehouse supervisor. And then Alma needed to refresh her computer skills. She attended basic computer classes, earned her North Star, and was hired as a customer service representative the next week. And then Kelly had a professional background of working within the insurance industry, and she wanted to increase her knowledge of computers and Microsoft Office. While studying to complete her North Star, she had applied for a customer service representative position with a well-known insurance company and was hired. She started her new job the following month. So those are good examples of how you can tell the stories of what other people have done to get other people to want to do it as well. And then you have your types of engaging content. You have videos, infographics, educational posts, and program highlights and reels. So for videos, using videos to tell a story, you can do this by doing maybe a day in the life. So you have somebody that works for your organization and you want to follow them around for the day and seeing what they do for their job. And it gets people interested in your organization. And then testimonials, instead of having them typed out, you can also do video testimonials of somebody enjoying the program that they're doing. And then you can have a video for tips for, so such as like job searching. So tips for job searching, and then you go through some tips for job searching. And then volunteer events, you have videos of people volunteering. And then anyone can do it. You just need your phone. You don't need a fancy camera or anything like that. And then tips, be authentic with your work. Make sure your videos match your values. And are you asking your audience to engage? So an example of some different types of videos, reels. This goes hand in hand with your basic videos, but often includes a person talking about the subject, and it's shorter for 30 seconds to a couple minutes max. It's used to keep the viewer's attention. And so I have like this picture of the Menor Public Library. They have a bunch of reels of people talking, and they're really short. They're just like a minute long each. And then professional videos, they may be more structured to get a message point across. So then you can have infographics as well, can be a good way to visualize key data. Less equals more, make sure they aren't confusing. Because, for example, this one over here on the right, very confusing. You don't know what this is or what you're trying to follow or where they're trying to take you. But this other one, 10 learning techniques, which are most effective, it's very to the point. You can see exactly what it is that they're trying to explain to you, and then their 10 points are each in a bubble, and they each have a blurb under it. And then you can have educational posts. These can be about anything that your organization wants to educate people on. Like, for instance, Library Thing wants to educate people on National Library Week. So they had a whole thing about that. And then same with Hoopla about National Library Week. And then call to action. A call to action is a short phrase that tells people exactly what to do, like sign up, register. It's the button at the bottom that, or a link or something like that. And then why it's important, it removes confusion and makes it clear how someone should respond to your message. How it affects engagement. Call to actions turn passive readers into active participants by encouraging clicks, signups, or attendance. And what happens without one, people may read your content but not take the action that you want them to take. So, to craft a call to action that actually drives signups, you want to be clear by making sure the button says sign up, join, submit instead of click here so people know what they are clicking on, and then make the call to action very noticeable on the website so it's easily accessible. So, some good examples are iPhone. The call to action, learn more, shop iPhone. You know exactly what it is you're doing. It's very noticeable. Same with Generation West Virginia's join the conversation. You're going to subscribe to the emails. Very noticeable. A bad example is, hey, click here because you don't know what that means or what it is that you're exactly clicking on. So, some key takeaways from understanding your program and audience: clarify your program values so the audience knows what to expect, narrow down the target audience to create a persona based on who your program is trying to serve, building a strong marketing foundation, branding with a consistent message, and setting SMART goals for your organization. Marketing channels and tactics that work, using a mixture of digital marketing, traditional, and promotional strategies to get your program out to the public, and then content that converts, using a mixture of social proofs to tell success stories and using engaging content to get your audience interested in the program. So, some getting involved
Do you
Generation West
wanna
Virginia. Oh,
do you want to
sorry.
chat with your questions maybe before we run through these
Yeah.
the next couple slides? I'm gonna flip, I think it's 2 slides forward
Oh,
for the
sorry.
questions. No, you're good.
So, any questions?
Thanks, Emma. I actually have a question. Could you talk a little bit more about, so like social proofs in this context is kind of the success story, so like proof that this program works. Is that how that works? Could you explain that one a little bit more?
Yeah. So, wait. So, what do you want me to explain more of?
Just maybe another definition of social proof, so I understand what exactly that is. Is that those like storytelling of real examples, or is there more to that definition?
Yeah, social proofs are the testimonials. So it's just like the same thing, it's just two different words for it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
We did have a just logistics question in the chat that came. We will be sending out the presentation, a link to the presentation slides and the recording once we get it uploaded to everything after the fact too. So if you're you were on the list, you registered for the event, so you should be able to access those after the fact as well. So you can take a closer look at some of those examples if you want to dig in a little bit more. All right, last call. Any questions for Emma on any of the strategies? I know we covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Emma, I noticed that you had a couple of examples there from Upshur County Library. So have those been impactful? They've infected, if, have they really impacted the attendance at some of these digital workshops, or are the things that they've tried that's been more impactful than others?
Yeah, I definitely say that the flyers have been impactful because they put them out at the library. So then people that are going to the library, they can see the flyers and they're like, oh, North Star class, maybe I'm going to attend that. And same with the social media. I don't know how much they've been posting it, but the social media does help a lot because then people that follow the Upshur Library, they can see that. Even if they're not like going into the library, then they can be like, oh, there's a class here. So yeah, I think that it is impactful.
Thanks. Anything else? Any other questions? All right, if you think of one, please feel free to chime in. We've got a few more things here to run through. If you want to flip back 2 slides, Emma, I can run through. So speaking of calls to action, we have a list of a couple ways moving forward if you want to get involved. We did have a save the date on the previous question screen for our next webinar, which is right here as well. There's a QR code, or you can go to this link. It's going to be February 23rd at 1. We're really excited about this one. We've got some guest speakers coming on to talk about telehealth funding strategies for rural areas. There's a lot of funding coming around through the Rural Health Transformation Program and some other opportunities. And telehealth and digital health literacy continue to be very important, especially in our rural areas. So please feel free to tell your friends, join us. You can register at that QR code or that link. Again, I mentioned this already, but our first statewide West Virginia Connected Communities Network meeting is going to be February 24th at 3. Registration, again, at the QR code or at the link there. And we also need to plug, we've got our Pathways to Progress conference coming up this year, May 14th in Charleston. Early bird registration is open now through February 21st. You can learn more at the link here or check out the code for more information. And then the next slide. And then if you want to get in touch, please feel free to reach out to either one of us. Again, broadband related stuff, marketing related, please reach out. We also have a link there that you can go to subscribe to the GWV newsletter if you are not on that already. So thanks so much. Thanks, Emma. You did a great job. And we will see you all hopefully in February, if not